Welcome everybody to episode 42 of Lights Camera Pop. I'm Rich.
I'm Mike.
How's everybody doing out there? Sorry for the midweek episode, but uh, Mike had a show on Sunday to attend, and
Uh,
and actually, to be honest, I think probably the next two episodes that we do will most likely be Wednesday episodes because we got the big E this
uh,
weekend. And then next weekend, next Sunday, we're going to be recording, but we're recording with our buddy Joe from Gen X.
I
So,
totally forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me.
so yeah,
Woo!
we're recording, but just on another show, and
Right.
there's a twist to it, so you guys will understand whenever that gets released. But you're still going to get us, like I said, for the next probably 2 weeks. We will be putting out some Wednesday episodes, and the 19th, when we record, we will be coming back with the guests that we were going to be having on this week. So,
And we're working on getting a few other guests all lined up for you guys as well.
for
So
sure,
stay
I
tuned
love having
and see what
guests.
happens.
I love having
But
guests on.
today you're just stuck with us rambling about our inane bullshit. So
Yep. I
deal with
just,
it.
if you heard the crack, I didn't crack a beer. I just cracked a Monster Juice, the Mango Loco.
That
These things are so
that's
freaking amazing.
that's okay. I just cracked my back. But
Sounds similar too.
um, right. So yeah, I went to see the Circle Jerks, Gorilla Biscuits, and Negative Approach last Sunday. So that's the
Nice.
reason why we weren't able to record on our normal schedule. And just let me say, it was great seeing three goats, greatest of all times, on stage together. Um, Negative Approach just doesn't get enough love in today's scene. I think
Hmm.
not a lot of the people there um, knew Negative, but the ones that did got it.
Right.
Negative Approach is a hardcore punk band from the Midwest, Detroit, from the early '80s, and they broke up. But they've been together now for the last several years, on and off. But now they're like really together and doing lots and lots of touring and just spreading their amazing gospel throughout the entire world. Widely considered, like their first 7 inch was widely considered probably the best American hardcore EP ever created. Do I say it is? Um, it's hard to argue that. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, like it probably is. In all honesty, some people say Pick Your King from Poison Ideas better, and yeah, but I mean, in all honesty, like that Negative Approach EP is just, it's mind-boggling and crushing at the same time. And Gorilla Biscuits, I'm going to go out on a limb and say something about them in a minute, but I'm going to skip over GB and go right to Circle Jerks. Circle Jerks is another band that's been around since the dawn of punk rock time.
Yep.
Um, and they have just released classic after classic after classic. And every time they play, it's just like a blister. They are just amazing. Um, they stand up for what they believe in. Um, Everything about them is just amazing and perfect. And the Circle Jerks, or if you've never seen them or heard them, do yourself a favor, listen to them, check them out, go see them, support the underground, support the scene, support punk, support hardcore. But that's just me. Now I'm going to go back to Gorilla Biscuits because
The name is
I
amazing
took.
to begin with.
Uh, I know they're just okay. I'm not going to go into where the name came from because I'm going to try to get somebody from the band on, so they can go through all of that.
Fair.
I've touched and go with a couple of the guys, and they all want to. It's just the fact that like they're always touring, they're in so many different bands together, that it's just hard to get them nailed down. But with that said, Gorilla Biscuits to me is the Van Halen of hardcore.
Okay.
And people are thinking, what the hell does that mean? Well, okay. Pre Van Halen, every metal band had to look like, angry and mean and just disgruntled, and they couldn't smile and they couldn't, you know what I mean? Like all black, long hair in front of their faces, playing loud, abrasive music. So you had to just have that aura and that feel of, you know, don't mess with me. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um, Hardcore punk, the same thing. Like hardcore bands, because you're playing such a massively aggressive type of music, and you're talking about like social ills and social dogmas, and the plight of the working class, and this, that, the other. And it's always, raw, like just raw power and screaming and fury. So no one ever looked happy. They're always like, scowling and mean and everything like that. And then the Gorilla Biscuits came around. And then same with before the Gorilla Biscuits, you had Van Halen. Van Halen proved that you can smile on stage and still be a metal band. You can look like you're having fun on stage and still be a metal band. You could actually have fun on stage and be a metal band. And Gorilla Biscuits did the same thing. They smiled, they danced, they had just they were where Warzone and Sick of It All and Agnostic Front would suck the air out of the room. These guys would put helium in the room. You know
Oh,
what I mean? And
okay.
they were musical laughing gas, but in a great, great, great way. I'm not saying this to be disparaging by any means. I think this is phenomenal because they were still talking about the same type of stuff, but they were a little bit more lighthearted about it. They were also not as aggressive. They were just a little bit off kilter. They were just a little bit off center from what all the other hardcore and punk bands were doing. They just had a little bit of lightness to them. And that just showed. And I mean, like, hardcore band had, as soon as you put the needle on the record, on the very first record, on Start Today, um, you hear trumpets playing.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was unheard of. There's a harmonica in their songs. Okay, like you don't have hardcore bands that play a fucking harmonica, but GB did. They not only did they break the mold, but when they broke the mold, they threw the mold into the casting so it could never be done again. And they, to this day, will always be one of the most fun bands that you'll ever see live. They're just a blast. And they proved to the hardcore scene that you can be serious, talk about heavy things, but still have a light-sidedness to it, and still be, just how do I want to say it, have the ability to make people smile
Hmm.
while you're on stage doing your fury. That's all I got to say about it. Just um Oh, this is funny. I'm talking about him right now. Walter Sheffield just messaged me, the guitar player.
So what did he have to say?
When he just messaged me,
Yeah.
we were just talking about, we were talking, he and I were talking earlier about Pittsburgh. That's
Ah.
all.
Oh, awesome.
So
So that sounds
nothing,
good though.
nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. But that's awesome. You had a good show, a good time at the show, and everything like that. Um.
I picked up a couple of records while I was there. I picked up a two Devo 7 inches. Because there's the
I
guy who
saw it on.
does
I
the
saw that
merch.
on Instagram.
The guy who does the merchandise for Negative Approach, he also owns his own record store, so he'll bring some stuff with him to sell. So I bought two. I bought Whip It and Working in a Coal Mine 7 inches from him, and I bought a Cro-Mags 2020 7 inch box set. And it was just funny because like Jeremy's like, "Why did you buy Devo?" I'm like, "Cause
No,
Devo's awesome."
why not? It's like, why don't you buy Devo, not TiVo? It's like
Right?
it
Well,
makes you think of
both, but
Adam Sandler and Billy Madison. Like, you're not cool unless you pee your pants.
right.
You're not cool unless you listen to Devo. Oh shit. But yeah, I really didn't do too much of anything. Like there's that's not a that's no surprise. I don't really do shit. Um of course I'm finally, you can hear in my voice that I'm at like 99% finally. Um so that's been it's been really messed up lately. Fortunately, I've been taking some medicine, and it's helped out a lot. And the
That's good.
the raspiness, it doesn't feel like uh, a dwarf is sitting on my chest anymore. And I'm still a little nasally, but it's not too bad. It definitely
That's
could be
good.
worse. Definitely could be worse. Um, dude, like, have you heard or watched any of the Daredevil Born Again season two?
I haven't watched any of it. I haven't. I've been consumed with just getting the houses in order, like
That's right, yeah, because you
moving, like we're still in we got all our clothes and all our main stuff, the stuff that we need to live, moved over, but we still have a ton of because I'm still recording from the old house, and I have all so it's like I split up a lot of time between the two, and then getting down to the antique shop and then trying to get out hunting and mailing stuff. Yeah, it's just by the time I'm done with everything, I just want to shoot myself. Um,
I get that.
so so yeah, like I haven't really. I'm still one episode behind on Pitt. I watched an episode. I watched the ice episode last night.
Oh shit,
Um,
okay.
and what else? I've seriously, I've just been. I haven't watched anything new at all, and for a couple of reasons. One, I just don't want to invest my time into anything right now because of so much going on. And then two, I can't concentrate on anything new because by the time I'm done with everything, I'm usually tired. Like yesterday, I was, running from house to house, putting beds together and that together, running stuff down to the pole barn,
Right.
cleaning stuff, just getting shit done. And it's just and then the property, I have so much stuff I got to do. I've been wandering around the property just with the amount of down trees and brush hogging and the pond needs. It's my God, I'm like Green Acres now.
Yeah, I seen the videos that you've posted of you walking throughout the acreage, and wow, there's definitely a good bit there.
We have 145.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's a pretty big chunk of shit, pretty big
Yes,
chunk of property there.
it absolutely is.
Joe, our the guy who we're going to be doing with his family, has a big chunk too. Um, so it's like he knows like what I'm going through, you know.
Right. Oh, for sure. I I couldn't imagine having that much. I remember when we were looking for houses, we came across one that had like three acres, and that right there is enough. That was like, yeah, like, and that and there was like a whole shit ton of like bikers, and when I say bikers, I mean like people riding their dirt bikes and shit like that.
Right,
uh
right.
they were riding all on the land and stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to have to put up some kind of fence or anything like that. And it's already like this too, where I don't want to disrupt somebody's fun. And
And I have to put everything in. It's called a clean and green because if I didn't, I could never afford the property taxes. The property taxes would be astronomical. So that's a whole other can of worms. So
right,
yeah, I get what you're talking about with like riding dirt bikes and different things like that on property. Trust me.
yeah, so I choose not to I chose not to go with that route. But yeah, man, the new season of Daredevil, like, I'm really consumed by this series. Um it's such a good like, and I'm even going back and we're starting to rewatch the first season of from the first series when it was on Netflix. And you know, it is such a good crime drama series that just so happens to have a masked superhero in it. So like I mean, it really doubles down with its storytelling. And it is really well done. Matthew Lillard is in the first episode of Born Again season 2, and he has that nonchalant, badass kind of quirky attitude that just like that's the kind of villain you want to be like. Like he just walks in. This is really no spoilers, and I'll leave out some of the phone calls, but he comes in and really not really announcing himself, but he just kind of comes in eating popcorn or something, and he sits down in the mayor's office, Mayor Wilson Fisk, and they just kind of like look over at him, and they're like, "Who the hell are you?" And then one of the advisors for the mayor, his phone rings, and Matthew Lillard's eating his popcorn. Yeah, you're gonna want to answer that. It was just such a badass moment. Um, but yeah, it's so good. I'm very much consumed by this show right now. I'm really hoping to pick up the new issue, which came out today, written by Stephanie Phillips. New creative team, new volume, and I'm just like, it's getting so much buzz and hype right now that it's making me salivate for it even more.
That's cool.
And the blind bags, man, these things like they're really taking off. Like, and it's funny because like I knew when we talked about this, like with Batman, like this blind bag thing is kind of like new, but now like on TikTok, it is all over the place where you're just seeing people unbagging blind bags, and it's kind of cool in a sense, and like the stuff that the cover arts that you can get, like rare one, literally one of a kind sketch arts, and like it's only one out of the entire run, and it's so
Well,
wild.
blind bags now are kind of like the new flavor of the month in the comic book industry. Like, yeah, like a lot of people are doing it, and it's cool. Like you just said, like you can get like some really rare like covers and variants and one-off pieces of art and just different things like that. So I do like them. I do think they're cool. Um, I'm just wondering if this trend's going to stick around for how long. You know what I mean? I kind of hope it does for a little bit, just
I
because
think
like
it will.
I'm enjoying how it works out and like what you can get, and you're just like, oh wow, well yeah, am I going to get like a sketch, or am I going to get a gold foiled variant that they only made 100 of, or
Hmm.
blah blah blah. So we'll see what happens with them.
Yeah, I think so. Um, I'm just most likely I won't be able to get my hands on it because I have a feeling like most of the comic book shops around my area, I'm having a feeling that the blind bags are going to be gone pretty quick. So, and I'm just as long as I get like the main cover, the main issue, um, that's all I'm worried about. I might even like to have two, just so one to hold on to, and the other, like I said, with the way the buzz is on it, and I don't know how the it works anymore, but really at one time, like when there was a book that was like really buzzed about, and usually it became a pretty high commodity,
Right.
but then I don't know if it's the same way now, is if like there's so much behind this one book right now that will the hype about it live up to for how long or whatnot. But I'm curious to know how long it's going to go. But that being said, um, it's mainly just because I want it just to have it.
Right.
and whether or not it
And that's what it should be. That's how you should look at it. You want it because you want it, not because you want it because you think you're going to be able to put a kid through college in 15 years with it,
right.
or you want it because you're just going to be able to flip it for 20, like buy it for $10 and flip it for $25, yeah, tomorrow. So you're doing it the correct way. You're doing it what the people should be doing. You're doing it for the love of the game. You're not doing it because you think you're going to be able to make a buck off of it.
Right. Yeah, because most likely I wouldn't. I don't really try to resell stuff like that. I don't know. It's just like maybe later on once I start to lose the interest. eh, Excuse me. Damn. Um, dude, what's funny is like I don't know if you saw this at all. I don't know how much on social media you were today, or if you're on the same side of the internet as I am. So Tron Ares has been out for a while.
Hmm.
Uh, and not only has it been out for a while, there was very little merchandise for it. Is that the merchandise?
Merchandising.
Merchandising, yes. So there was very little to none merchandising for it. The movie came out in Remy. She like lit a little squeak. So there was like very little marketing. The movie's been out for a while. They say that it was a box office flop, right? And I have to really call bullshit because a after it hit Disney Plus, it may have been a box office like at the main theaters, but once it hit Disney Plus and streaming, it was like anytime I would log on, it would be like trending number one most watched for the day. And it was like that for
I
like 3 or 4 weeks.
I really think the whole box office flop, box office hit, box office whatever is really going to have to be rethought and reorganized going forward, because streaming has changed the game so much, because a lot of people just simply do not want to go to the movie theater anymore, because a lot of people think of like, why should I go to the movie theater and spend $40 for 2 tickets, plus another 45 $50 for overpriced popcorn and a soda and a box of candy,
And another
you know.
$45 if you want that special limited edition popcorn bucket.
Right. I mean, like, people are looking at it like, okay, to go to the movies for me and my girlfriend or me and my wife, just two people to go to the movies and do this, you're probably talking $80 just right off the bat. And that's before you put gas in the car and go out to dinner. You're just talking $80 at that theater.
Yeah.
So people are like, I can just get DoorDash and wait a month and then watch it streaming. I hate to say this, but I think we're watching the death of the movie theater.
Yeah, I agree. I do. I really feel that it's it's a slow death. It's like Paul Rubens in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like that death. Like it's slowly dying and it's taking a dramatic exit.
But I
And
think what will happen, like, but in another shell getting along this, I don't think it's going to kill it completely. I think what'll happen is you'll just have like niche theaters that offer a unique experience,
I could
and
see
that's
that.
what people are going to want.
I can see
The
that.
dead are the days of like just going to like Carmike's and watching a movie and then going home. It's now going to be like a destinational type of a thing is what you're
Right.
going to get with movie theaters.
Oh, you took me back. I forgot that it was called Carmike Cinemas.
Yeah, so that, yeah, right. So now I think you're going to start seeing, when you go to the movies, it's going to be like the movie theaters are going to have um Hey, can you put me on hold for a minute?
Yep. All right. Sorry about that. Um. So anyway, so yeah, what I was leading up to though is they released yesterday. They announced it. There was a Tron Ares Identity Disc replica being released on the Disney Store.
Huh.
Now they put them up in the parks, but you can only get them exclusively in the parks. And apparently, they're a pretty hot item there too. Well, here, I guess at midnight, everyone was thinking, "Oh, it's going to be an April Fool's joke and stuff like that." Excuse me. So here, it released at midnight. It was not an April Fool's joke. $40 for the replica identity disc, and it sold out in 9 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. So in my mind, and I'm like, being that they're like saying that this movie was just, it was a disaster, it was a flop. Now we're going to rethink Tron and just put it on the back burner and most likely not continue making Tron films. But then you see the writing on the walls and you see all this. Like that, to me, that's not a flop of a movie. If people are buying the merchandise like that or streaming it the way they do, that's not a failure of a movie at all.
No, that's telling me that well, you know what that tells me in all honesty? That tells me that Disney was a failure with it because they didn't promote it
They
properly.
should have yeah, they absolutely they should have. And I still 100% stand by with what I said. Brian and I, we've talked about this, that Tron Ares was a good movie. It was really good. It was fun. It was coherent. It wasn't the sequel that everybody wanted. That was the biggest downfall. That's why nobody went to see it in theaters. Because
It was a sequel that we got, but we didn't want.
right. Everybody wanted the legacy sequel, the sequel to the second movie.
Right.
And this one here was just more of like a side story that takes place in the same universe. And then, of course, you had all the people saying, well, how are you going to call it a Tron movie if Tron's not even in the movie? To that, I can kind of understand, but at the same time, uh, it's based off of the video game Tron that Kevin Flynn created. So,
Right.
sure, why wouldn't you keep the same namesake? Um, but yeah, I'm hoping that Josh D'Amaro, the new CEO, sees this. Of course, he's more of the parks guy. Dana Walden, who kind of took over that side of things, she is gonna like she's doing more. She's part of more of the movie side of things. So I'm hoping she sees the the type of fan base that it does have, and that they continue to make new films, and maybe get Olivia Wilde and Garrett Hedlund back on board and make the sequel that everybody did want. So
Well, it seems like the new team at Disney kind of gets it. Like they seem to like understand. Like the last team at Disney just didn't seem to understand their fan base.
yep,
It seemed like all they wanted was to. They were vampires. They just wanted to suck their fan base dry of any bit of cash that they could just pull out of them, and at the same time spit in their faces. That's how I looked at the last
exactly.
Disney team. And this new team seems like okay, they get the animation, they get the park, they get the movies. Hopefully, and let's just put it this way, and they've moved away from a lot of the stuff that's. I'm not going to get into the politics, but they're moving away from a lot of the stuff that's alienated a lot of the
Yes,
people that were into Disney. Like, let's face it, Disney is a family-oriented park, a
yep,
family-oriented company. So they seem like they're just like, okay, we got to focus back on that and not try to push anything.
yes. That's what
So
it does seem like that's the direction that they are going.
And I mean, like the new guy who used to think that he was, I forget what his name is, the
Josh
guy who was
D'Amaro.
like really, yeah, he was like, apparently he was kind of mad that they got rid of the Muppet uh the Muppet attraction that was
Oh
there.
yeah, 100%. Oh, and I'm glad you brought that up. Oh, so let me say how pissed off I am about this. So apparently they found a home for the Muppet Vision 3D. Okay.
Okay.
Holy shit. It is going to be available for people who have the Apple VR. The 6 people that bought the Apple VR, that's where it's going to be at. Like,
Wonderful.
why? Like, it's okay. That is a great idea, but make it universal. Put it on where people can stream it on Oculus or uh, the PlayStation VRs or anything like that. Hell, go just put it on my phone and let me go get the VR goggles from Five Below or something, and let me just attach them that way. Like that is such like I would gladly pay if somebody said, "Hey, it's on your phone right now. It's $50." I know that would still be cheap, but it's we'll say 75. It's $75. It's yours to own, but it's $75 and you can watch it anytime you want. I'm like sold. Where do you want me to put my card at?
Right.
Um, but I think that this was another one of those missed opportunities that you want to preserve it and still make it available to the fans. But those Apple Quest or Apple VR, whatever the hell it is like upwards of almost 2 grand. So it is ridiculous to do that. Um, but yeah, sorry, I went straight away there for a second. But yeah, you're absolutely correct. They really are. They were at one time basically saying, yeah, we're going to take your money and we're going to get rid of the stuff that makes magic, makes the parks magic. During COVID, like during all shutdowns, they got rid of the Magical Express, which when you land, there was a bus that would come pick you up. You could go to the parks while the bus takes your luggage to your room. And while you're at the parks, you can go back to the room and there's your stuff magically in your. Yeah. So they took away a lot of stuff.
Right.
And it looks like, at least now, I can see it that they're trying to get back to where they can uh, they can still charge an arm and leg and basically force feed their proverbial dick down our throats and make us say thank you.
Right.
And it's nothing like where they're still taking all my money and I'm just pissed off at the end of the day and don't ever want to go back or don't ever want to rent or never want to play a game or whatever. So yeah, I think they're on the right track right now, and I'm excited to see where this new CEO and everything takes us.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I agree, but
Fingers
honestly
crossed
I
they don't
keep
screw
looking
things
at
up.
the Disney Store webpage, and I keep waiting to see it pop up because it did go back on sale on back order for like 10 minutes and it sold out
Really?
again. Yeah, it's it's funny. Like people really want it. It really is. It's funny because like it's just like, oh, what are you gonna do with it? Like I'm just gonna hang it on my wall. Really, it's like I'm gonna get one of those like little stands and mount it right there. I'll turn it on when I record. That way, it's like glowing the red. So yeah, I think that'd be pretty wild. Oh my, but shit.
Yeah, like we said before, like I honestly hope that they right this ship because like I don't want to see them fail. I know that they've took a lot of debt over on because when they went through that big acquisition spree that they were going on. Um and they're kind of leveraged pretty high,
Mm-hmm.
but that's a company that can definitely handle that sort of leverage.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I agree. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I'm curious. I'm just gonna excuse me. Oh man, I drank that monster and it's got me all woo. Uh,
Got you all loopy.
well, it got me all loopy a little bit, but um, so also I just want to share this. It was like a little. We talk about the pit a lot on here, and if this is just something that, as if any of our listeners watch the pit and have questioned this, because honestly, I questioned it. My family questioned it. So I hope if you guys question it that this helps because I saw somebody post this in the pit group and I'm going to read it to you. Pardon my ignorance, but I'm confused. I know there was a lot of trouble getting an ASL interpreter for the deaf woman. And I'm sure that's a reality, but couldn't she just communicate by her needs by writing them on a piece of paper or typing them onto a computer?
Better yet, whiteboard. Hospitals have them.
Right. Okay. So you're in the same ballpark. You
I've
kind of
said the same thing. Yep.
so somebody actually commented who is in that world, and I'm that's why I'm sharing it. This now has become a teaching podcast. Now we're tax deductible. So ASL and English is not a direct translation. People think that the signs are just signs for English words, but in actuality, our grammar and syntax are completely different from what ASL language is. So that's the reason why. So even if she was to write it down, it's not going to
Gotcha.
translate the exact same way. So that kind of makes a little bit of sense now. And I'm happy that somebody, dude, like if you don't follow the pit on Facebook, like after the ice episode, it got a little like it got a little hate hatey. No, I don't want to say hatey, but it got a little angry, and yeah, it got kind of annoying. But yeah, there's like actually hearing people talk about like in this group about maybe an episode or whatever, and they're like, oh well, this happened, and you get to hear little stories and stuff like that. It's still pretty it's pretty wild. So if you haven't, follow the pit Facebook page. And then I guess I don't know if you saw that. I sent it to you, I believe. I thought it was pretty interesting. You know, somebody at first a while ago I saw somebody was asking George Clooney like, "Hey, are you any plans to step back into the Scrubs and make an appearance on the pit? And you know, what do you think about the pit with Noah Wiley and everything like that?" And he's like, there's no kind of plans or anything. He said, "Oh, I would absolutely love to. I'm so proud of Noah and everything like that." And you know, really giving the show and Noah Wiley his praise. So
Right.
Noah Wiley was on a podcast, not Lights Camera Pop, but he was on a podcast, and they asked him about that. And somebody said, like the interviewer, she says, you know, George Clooney said that you know, he would love to come back onto he would love to come onto the pit. And Noah Wiley got kind of like standoffish and he's like, "You see how I keep dancing around that question?" And he said, yeah, of course he wants to be onto the pit. It's a hit show. And he said, "But let me ask you this. Where was I at whenever George was making Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13? Guess I just didn't make the cut." So that's kind of crazy to really think about that.
And the thing is, like for Noah Wiley, he's not freaking wrong.
He's not. He's not.
He's
George Clooney
not
was out
wrong.
there. You know, he talks about how, you know, ER was like he always. You do hear him talk about, you know, the positives and stuff like that, of the time he shared, and but then when it actually comes down to brass tacks, you're right. Yeah, where was Noah Wiley? You know, you have all this praise for him, but yet you know you couldn't cast him in any of your movies, put a good word in for him or something with the casting director or whatever. Um, so yeah, and honestly, I hope that I don't want to see George Clooney back on. I thought I did it one time, and it wasn't even so much as hearing this, but yeah, I don't think that I'd want to see him on, because like this is a completely different show, and I feel like when you're gonna start bringing people on like former main stars of ER, like I just think it would kind of take away from what the Pit actually is.
right?
Did you notice there's no music in the Pit?
And I like that.
I never realized it until I was listening to this podcast. And
I like that.
he's like Noah Wiley said, the moment, you start to hear music, it stops being real.
Yep.
And I love that. And I never really paid attention to it until that moment.
Yep. Because music music pushes along the story. So like whenever you hear music coming on, you're like, uh-oh, something bad's gonna happen. Uh-oh, something good's gonna happen. Something funny's gonna happen. Because
Exactly.
the way they test the music.
Yep.
So with that, because you're in a life or death, what's it called? Situation
Yep.
in an ER, and you don't want to have that like, oh great, here comes like the ominous music. You know what I mean? Like I want to I want to see what happens. I don't want to feel what happens.
Yes. I agree. I agree. And I hope they continue doing it this way. I really do.
I can't see why they wouldn't, just for the sheer fact that like it works.
Right.
It truly works.
I'm curious
You
to
know?
see, like, there's like what, 3 more episodes of this season.
Yeah.
So like, and honestly, it's a great season so far. But I'm gonna say there hasn't been anything severely epic that happened. And I'm happy about that in a sense. Because so you had like the first season, the big mass shooting at Pitt Fest. And then this season so far, the only major catalytic thing that happened, you had the cyber attack. And it wasn't even a cyber attack. It was they purposely shut down their computer system, so they didn't
Before
before it
a
happened.
cyber attack. Yeah.
Yes. So really the urgency was there, but it didn't quite reach DEFCON 5 level. Am I saying that right? Is the DEFCON 5, is that the highest one, or is 1 the
DEFCON 1.
lowest? One's the lowest. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So it didn't reach like DEFCON 1 level. Okay. But then you had the quick little I say they didn't say the name, they just said water park. But in actuality, we all knew, being that it's in Pittsburgh, it was Sandcastle. Uh, the water slide incident. So there was that, but there was nothing major that has happened, and I really am happy with that, because it just goes to show that not every day that you work, you're going to have something major happen.
Right.
Thought I lost you for a second.
Nope. I'm with you.
But yeah, so tune in to Thursdays, 9 o'clock, HBO Max, The Pit. I we need
It's,
to
I mean,
we need to get
I,
sponsors.
people are trying to say like, well, okay, what do you think? Where do you think this is heading to in the pit?
Oh man, so speculation. Huh. I think the turning point is going to be with Jeff Kober's character, Oh, I'm going to say his name wrong. Shit. Um, the guy who's playing Duke, the one from
Okay.
Sons of Anarchy, General
Yeah.
Hospital, Jeff Kober. Um, I think it's going to come down to his character. Um, I think that like it's almost like they keep speculating that, and it's like they're foreshadowing that Dr. Robbie, Noah Wiley, that he's either A, going to be in a tragic accident on his motorcycle. Now, I think the odds of that one is greater than the rest of the theories. Tragic to where he is no longer able to be on the show because they wrote him off. I don't think that's the likelihood of this situation. I think that if he rides off into the sunset, that it may end with a call saying, "Are you serious? We'll be ready for him." And then Dana will get off the phone or something and be like, "Guys, we got to batten down the hatches. Robbie's coming back, but he's coming by ambulance." And
I
then
don't think anything's going to happen to Robbie.
and see, this is what I'm saying. That this is just the likely. This is I agree with you, but I'm just saying I think this is where, if any of the scenarios play out, this may be the likeliest one, because I don't see them killing off his character, first of all. And everybody's all like, "Oh, well, he's suicidal." And now you get that. He's got that PTSD and everything like that. I can see the writing on the walls that they have for him of his character. But I think a lot of this, what it's going to come down to, is Duke, played by Jeff Kober. I feel he is going to die. I think he's going to lose his life. And out of respect or out of some kind of like eye opening moment, Robbie is not going to leave the hospital, and he's not going to take his sabbatical, and he's going to stay behind. But I wish you watched last week's episode, because there. Okay, I'll tell you. It's minor spoiler.
See,
Uh,
here's the thing. I don't give a shit about spoilers. You can
okay,
tell me the entire episode, and it does not affect me any way, shape, or form because I'm still going to watch it.
well, I'm going to tell you right now. I can't. This is how memorable the last episode was. I cannot remember a whole lot. Oh, well, I mean, there's a feud going on right now that you probably would never have guessed was going to happen. And these two are blowing up at each other, and it's Dana and Robbie. They're
Okay.
fisticuffs almost. Um, but there is a moment between Alashimi and Robbie, and she says to him that she basically questions how he runs, and she has questions and concerns how he runs the ED.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I'm almost like it's almost like she's trying to push him out. They have their little moments with each other to where it's like, "Oh, we start to like each other. Oh, but nope, here we are. We're back to fighting again, or we're back to my way or your way or whatnot." So,
Okay.
what about you? What are your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen?
My personal opinion, I don't think Robbie's going anywhere. I think they've already talked about how he's never really went on a vacation to begin with. He's supposed to be gone for 6 months. I think he's going to ride off, and then I think what's going to happen. This is my personal opinion. I think he's just going to realize that he needs the hospital to keep his sanity. He lives on such an adrenaline rush from the hospital that just riding around on a motorcycle is just going to bore him to death too much. I don't see him going on. I think if he does do a sabbatical, it's going to be for like a couple of days, and it's going to be a joke.
But of course, will we see Do you think we'll see like maybe the next to the last episode is the episode that he says, "All right, guys, I'm checking out. See you later," and he leaves. But then there's the final episode of the season, and he comes back and says, "I changed my mind." Basically, you think that's how they'll play it
No,
off?
no. I think what's going to happen is I think it's going to be a joke in season 3. I think what's going to happen is they're going to be like, I thought you were going to be gone for 6 months. Because you know how they do the time jumps?
Yes.
I think the time jump's going to be like, say, like 2 months or something like that, and be like, oh, you're back already. Like I knew you couldn't survive that long away from this place. Something along those lines.
I,
And he's just, and he's just going to be like, I just couldn't do it. I think that's my personal opinion, but again, I could be wildly wrong, which I probably am. But that's just my personal thing. Because let's just face it, there's no way on God's green earth Noah Wiley is going to leave that show.
no,
It's not happening. It's not happening.
not
He's
at all.
not leaving. Especially now, especially the fact that he just won every freaking major award. Do you honestly think that he's going to be like, okay, I'm done? He's 2 seasons deep into it. That's not going to happen.
Nope.
Not that. And if it does happen, he's fucking retarded. But he's not. That's not going to happen.
You said it's a major award, and the only thing I thought in my head was fragile.
I know. I thought the
It
same
must be
thing too.
Italian.
I was like, you won all kind of Italian awards,
Right?
you know. But like, yeah, because there's no way Dr. Robbie's going to roll out of this.
No.
That's just impossible.
No, I agree, and um, I think that him and something's gonna like go between Alashimi and him. I think something's gonna go on between them on the last episode, and I'm not sure as to what. But there's gonna be some kind of either. Well, that's gonna be 100% accurate. I was just gonna say there's either gonna be a resolution or a conflict at the end between the two of them. But no shit, it's gonna be 50-50 right there. One or the other is gonna happen. But yeah, like if I could put my money on it, I would think that he's gonna, if anything, he's the likeliness is low, but if they were to do it, he would ride off, get into an accident, get brought back by ambulance. They would end the season there and pick up 6 months from now in a coma, or him coming out of the coma.
See, I don't see that happening,
And I hope
really
not.
don't.
I hope not.
I see them like, because yeah, the first episode when the episode 1 of the season, when he come ride down the motorcycle, and she's like, "Oh, I can't believe you ride that thing." Blah blah blah. They're just making so much out of it that I think that would be. I hate to say it, I think it'd be fucking lazy writing.
It's a red herring.
I do. I think that's just lazy writing. Oh yay, a donor cycle. Yeah, great. Everyone rides motorcycles. They all wreck and get killed. And they all wreck and go into freaking become vegetables.
In every episode, there's something about it.
Yeah, I just think that to do that is almost a slap in the face to people like you and I who watch the show. I just think that's just like, it's just so, how do I want to say it? So predictable.
Yes.
It's the equivalent of playing music.
Yep. I couldn't agree with you more.
So I honestly think that a motorcycle accident on that level would just be dumb. That would be. I'm not saying it'd be like jump the shark moment. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying it would just be like, seriously, freaking seriously. That's my hot take on the matter. And you can tell I'm passionate about it because I cursed in it.
I'm sorry.
And I don't curse much on this show for some reason.
Yeah, we have free range to do whatever we want, but it's
I
okay.
like to keep it as a PG-13.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I gave my little analogy during the Disney talk, and that was kind of like PG-13ish.
Yeah.
I think that was like Walking Dead. That was actually, I'm not gonna lie, I literally ripped that from The Walking Dead, Dory from Negan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. He said that to Rick
That's
when Rick was going through his mangina phase.
okay. I got to go back and I really been wanting to do an actual rewatch of Walking Dead at some point, and then because I gave up on it at one point in time, and I just want to go and just see it through. I guess you can say.
And you know what? And I did too. And I think it was like after Rick left the show, whenever Andrew Lincoln left the show, that's when I kind of like after Carl
That's
died, my watching became less needed. Like I was like, oh well, if I miss an episode, we'll watch it whenever we can. We have it TiVoed. And then
yep.
one thing would get away from us, and we wouldn't watch it, and then we would just pick up with the next episode. And then once Andrew Lincoln left the show, it was just like there's really no point now because the main anchor of the show is now gone.
Yep. That was when when Andrew Lincoln left. I was like, I'm all.
Yeah.
I
So
quit watching. I that was like the when the helicopter came down. That was the day that I stopped watching.
and then I watched a series finale, and
I didn't.
I watched it just because I was like, oh, let's just see where it went to. And the ending scenes were beautifully shot, beautifully written, but it didn't feel like I don't know. It I didn't feel a closeness to it anymore, being that like it wasn't the same show as the what it started with. Now they have like stormtrooper armor and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, this is weird. But
Like
I
what's it called? I just totally lost interest in it. And same with the book though. I mean, like I lost interest in the book after a while, and the book never disappointed. I just kind of just it ran its course with me,
yeah
the book and the show. But now I'm kind of to the point where I'm just like, all right, like I gotta see this. I want to see what happens and just go from there.
yeah. I kind of want to do a little bit of a rewatch. I wish it was on anything else but Netflix.
Right.
Um, and not that AMC Plus or whatever. Um, did you watch the Rick and Michonne, the ones that lived?
I heard of it. I didn't. Again, I haven't watched anything. And that's why I want to do um, the whole actual Walking Dead, and then watch the Rick and Michonne because I know like she rescues him. He was like in like a kind of like a penal colony type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know about it, but like I don't. I just never
We
paid
did
much
watch that.
attention to it.
We were happy to watch that. It was really good. It was very well done. Um, I watched the first couple episodes of the Dead City series with Negan and Maggie.
Right.
That started off strong, but again, I lost interest, and I don't know why. I think it was because at the time I was going through the phase of not having AMC, so I had
Okay.
to like I couldn't really watch it when it came on, so I didn't really get too involved with it. The Daryl show, I wanted to like it, couldn't get into it. Um,
I had the one where he's like in like France or some shit.
yeah, yeah, but from what I understand, this was a couple weeks ago. I just saw this. I may have mentioned it on the show. I can't remember. Um, but I guess from what I understand, they are all in talks, early development of a reunion series.
I heard that too.
Yeah, Andrew Lincoln, um, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and I forgive me, I don't remember their names, but Michonne, Maggie, Norman
Yeah.
Reedus, Carol. I guess all of them are in early talks to come back to do a reunion series. And if they
Yeah,
do that, it's
I
going to
heard
be
that too. I heard that not too long ago, actually.
so. Hopefully that it does come to fruition. I'd like to see where they're at now.
I'm with that. I
Yeah,
think it'll be. I think it'll be an interesting show.
I think so too. Well, I think that's about wrapping up our show. I'm going to be cooking some dinner here shortly. I'm going to make some stuffed steaks and mashed potatoes. Sounds like fun. I know. I know. Cooking. Woo. But
Yeah, I got to start figuring out what the heck I'm gonna do for dinner now.
go out and finish cleaning up the house and feed the dogs again. Maybe. I don't know. They just ate, so my Remy's
Screw
sitting
them.
here. My Remy's just laying here sleeping. But where can everybody find you at, Mr. Mike?
You can always find me on the TikTokies over there at nomad underscore comic books. You can also find me at nomad underscore comic books underscore collectibles on Instagram and Punk Rock Mike on Instagram.
And I'm at Richie Wayne 76 and Lights Camera Pop Pod and Lights Camera Pop on Facebook and Instagram. And you can email us at lightscamerapoppod@outlook.com. And keep in mind, everybody, Weird Al for 2027 Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Let's get this party started in here.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, brother. I'm out. I got crap I'm going to finish doing. So, everybody, thanks for listening. Talk to you later.
Thanks for getting your geek on with us. Have a good week. And we have a happy Easter. We will see you next week.